Shalom, shalom. it's I'm coming back. This will be coming back with another lesson. Trying to still get rid of this cold. I'm still fighting it. Still fighting it. But this is it's a lesson I was bringing out about. The house of Esau. The house of just all the tabernacles of Esau or Edom. They got the spirit. They carry the spirit of Caine and the mark of Caine, which is why they look the way they look. So I'm bringing that out, and I'm gonna prove it. So before I go any further, I want to first give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who were well, and I also like to give honors to the alchemists out pushing the truth and sincerity to the four corners. I just want to say shalom. Okay, now, it's first of all, man, there's a lot of us we get caught up in this color doctrine. The color doctrine is not a good thing. It's kind of fucked up to be dealing with that color doctrine. But anyway, at one point, man, at one point in history, all races of people were dark. We were all dark. There was no light-skinned people. There wasn't no white people. It wasn't none of that. It was just one. Everybody looked the same, And like I say, all nations were dark until the mark of Caine first. Then after that, the birth of Esau. And scriptures back that up. But let's do a little research on Caine first. All right. All right, now. This is Genesis 48. Salaki, this is Genesis 4 and 8. And it says, and Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel and slew it against Abel, his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Which thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. So, hold on, slack. So, that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to look up the word fugitive, and then we're going to look up vagabond. We're going to look it up in the Strongs. All right? Now, okay, for fugitive. Fugitive is Strong's 52 and 11. And it's pronounced Nis, N-I-S, Nis. And it means him that fleeth, a person that runs away. All right? Now, let's look up vagabond and see what vagabond means. And if you look up vagabond, it is in the Strong's number 213. And it's pronounced alazan. And it means vagabond, hence an imposter or boaster. And then it says, short definition, a boaster. One who gives oneself air. It says one who gives oneself airs in a loud and flaunting way. And then it says a wandering vagrant, boasting to anyone who is foolish enough to take him seriously. This kind of person claims many things he can't really do, so he must always keep moving on to new naive listeners. So this man is said to have these qualities. He is a fugitive. That is one who runs away or leaves. And a vagabond is one, an imposter or liar, and two, a wanderer who boasts lies and makes claims. So keep in mind what a fugitive and a vagabond is as we continue through the lesson. Okay, now, And it said, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. So like the group of people who was also estranged from the Most High, basically, we already know it's only one group or one race of people that has ever been outcasted and hated by the Most High. And we know who that group of people is, and that's why I said who was also estranged from the Most High, who was driven out from the face of the earth. At a later time, this spirit proved to be that of him who hates his brother and despises the Most High. So this spirit was at this time hated by the Most High because he hated his twin brother and put him to death after simply having a conversation with him. Then the other brother was loved by the Most High, right? And then it continues to say, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So Cain was wicked, and he was marked in his physical features, and so that anybody who saw him, and it had to be his physical features because the Most High said he was going to put a mark on him that if anybody see him, that they wouldn't kill him. And you got to ask yourself why they wouldn't kill him, okay? And but instead they would marvel at this person because they have never seen nothing like this. This person is marked, right? So, because he was the only one of his kind who looked like him. Nothing else could stand out. And we know this through the Spirit. Okay, so I'm going to continue. This is Genesis 4:17. And this is the descendants of Cain. Now pay attention to this. It said, and Cain knew his wife, which means he had sex with her. And she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Now pay attention to this. Now this Enoch, this is most likely the Enoch that these characters be running around here talking about, I've got the book of Enoch. Okay. This is the character that these brothers who believe the more books they read, the more wiser that they become. They think this Enoch is the one that they read about, when the beloved Enoch ascended into heaven. So we already know that the book of Enoch that these characters be reading, right? And it's just a sidebar. It's not the same Enoch that the Most High ascended into heaven because he wouldn't have been able to write no book, right? Now, nowhere in the scriptures do it say that Enoch was around to write a book. Okay, so we're gonna keep going with that one. And so, and like I say, he ascended into the heavens, so there's no book to be read that he made. This Enoch, he came from the line of Cain, because we're talking about the descendants of Cain right now. And one of the descendants of Cain was a guy named Enoch. Okay? And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Mahajuel, and Mahajuel begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech, and Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such that dwelt in tents, and of such have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. And he was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. So these descendants of Cain did not call on the name of Yahweh, for as he bore the mark, so did his descendants. So if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. So Lamech, being a descendant of Cain, killed a man wrongly, and he can't help that because it's in his spirit to do shit like that, and in his nature, as was all his descendants. Okay, so let's talk about another set of twins who, like Cain and Abel, were brothers. You know, they wasn't just enemies, but were set apart as two different races of people who were said to look like two different people who had two different manners and two different styles, you know. One was a hunter, the other one was a common man just dwelling in tents, right? Okay. So let's get into the scripture. And this is talking about Jacob and Esau. Now this is Genesis 25 and 19. And it said, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren. Now let's see what the word entreated means so that we can get a full understanding. The word entreated, it comes from Strong 6279, and it is athar, and it means to pray or supplicate. Original word. And then it says the short definition of entreat means supplication, which also means prayer. Now it has another definition too, and it says answered or answered their prayers. So now that you know it's two definitions to it, you're gonna see that it was used twice, but once in the name of Yahweh and once in the name of Isaac when he was praying for his wife. And then it said, and the Lord was entreated of him, which means at first he said he entreated the Lord because his wife was barren, which means he prayed, he gave supplication to the Most High, you know, because he was praying for his wife because she was barren, he wanted to have kids. So, and then it get to this part, it says, and the Lord was entreated of him, which means he answered his prayers. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And went to inquire of the Lord. So she had to make supplication again to pray to the Most High and ask, you know, look, if this is, you know, supposed to be a blessed union, a blessed pregnancy with my kids, you know, then why am I having these problems? Salaki too, I'm a little bit tired. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So two different nations, meaning two different races of people who are completely opposite in every way. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So one people is going to be stronger than the other, also in every way. And with Jacob and Esau, which breaks down the black and white, we are stronger than them in every way, genetically, mentally, physically, and we are spiritual people. They are not. So let me continue. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, just like Cain and Abel. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And so Esau came out red all over, bearing the mark of Cain. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So do you understand that when they just described the birth of Jacob and Esau, when Esau came out, they described his color and everything. You want to know why? Because he had the mark of Cain, because there was nobody on the planet that looked like this dude. The same way that the Most High said he would put a mark on Cain, you know, that people, when they see him, they wouldn't kill him, you know? And because they didn't understand what the fuck he was. Like, what the fuck is that? You know? I mean, the first thing you're going to do is marvel at it. And that's what they're doing right now, describing the birth of Esau and Jacob. They marveled at Esau because they didn't know who the hell or what the hell Esau was, coming out looking like that, hair like that, skin color like that. That's a mark. He's a marked man. And when Jacob came out, did they describe him? No, they did not. And they did not describe Jacob because Jacob looked exactly like everybody else on the planet, you know? And that wasn't just the only differences between them, the way they looked. You know, there was also other differences in the way they looked. And then it says, uh, but before we get to that, I just want to tell you that just like Cain, Esau, like I said, he bought a mark, which was the word mark specifies an alliance, or it means a badge of ownership. The so-called white man, who was actually this red dude that just talked about Esau, that man has the spirit of the dragon or the beast, which the Bible calls the devil or Lucifer. So the so-called white man is not even one with nature. He is the only race of people who nature is actually against. The sun kills them and hurts them. The wind damages the skin and all of that. The rain wrinkles his skin. It's like everything that helps everybody else fucks them up. They're not one with nature, right? Okay? And like Cain, he is a fugitive and a vagabond. And this is what Cain said. He said, "Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid." So the Most High has turned the elements of the earth against him. And the Most High is not dealing with him at all, right? Okay. So the Most High used the spirit of fierce countenance and placed it in Esau. When Rebekah conceived, which is why the Most High hated him before he was even born, because he knew that Esau was the spirit of Cain. And here's the proof. And the proof is this. This is Romans 9:8. And it says, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it was written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Most High hated Esau before he was even born. The scripture just broke down. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing but the election. He placed the spirit of Cain in Esau, and he already knew he wasn't going to choose Cain. Even though Esau was born first, and the blessing supposed to went to Esau because he was the firstborn. The Most High knew he wasn't going to give him the blessing. This is why he allowed Jacob to make this character sell his birthright first, and after he sold his birthright, then he was tricked out of the blessing. See, what Esau thought, he thought he was going to sell his birthright and still get the blessing at the end. He was just trying to trick his brother to give him something to eat. But he despised his birthright. He didn't like it. The scripture says so. And we got to understand, man, that through all of this, man, we think that this color thing, it really don't matter. And the scriptures is showing you what Esau originally looked like, and it's showing you what Jacob originally looked like. Now, because during the course of time and over thousands and thousands of years of intermingling and, interracial dating, people kind of look a little strange. Not all of them, but for the most part, you can't tell who's who, right? You can't say, oh, because his skin is dark that he one of our people, or because his skin is white, he ain't one of our people, or so-called red, that he ain't one of our people, because we know the only people that got white skin is Jacob, who's suffering from leprosy, which we call right now albinoism. Other than that, ain't no white people. Ain't no white people. If you put an albino and an Edomite side by side, the Edomite is red and the albino is white. Yeah, man, but I just wanted to bring that out because, you know, a lot of people overlook the fact that Esau, even though Esau was the first of his kind as a race of people, he had the spirit of Cain, which is the spirit of that dragon. And this is why the Most High put that spirit in him, because he hated Esau before Esau was even born, because he hated Cain. Okay? So with that being said, man, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, the great millstone of the well. And I also like to give honors to the Akim Nazar, pushing his truth and sincerity to the four corners. I just want to say shalom and shalom.